Okay, you guys, I'm going to change the drive belt off the transmission and the drive belt for the upper casing. I'll show you in a second. First off, you got to take this cover off, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Let's get it off. And what I do is just take a screwdriver in there, make sure it's going the right way. Give her a bunch of torque. Just make sure they come all the way out. You may have to blow those out because it might be full of grass or whatever, right? So you take that off. All right, now shimmy it off, and I'm gonna get that off. Okay, well, you got that cover off. You might as well blow everything out, right? Okay, that's blown off. Okay, so what belt we want to change here is this belt that goes around here. This one's really stretched, and what's happening is this pulley back in here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this pulley back in here is kind of wobbling back and forth, and it's hitting this casing right here. Okay, so you're either going to blow that belt out or they stretch out. Okay, and I'm going to change that. And first off, you got to take this off and pull this safety guard off, I guess you call it. And what that does is keep the belt on while you shut things down so it doesn't wobble off. All right, let's get that off. Okay, so that's off, and let's take that off, put it over here. Don't lose your screws, okay? You don't want to lose those. Now we're going to take this belt off right here, and now everything has to be going underneath in the back, okay? Okay, so now we take that and we lift this up, and I love this jack. I'll tell you what, there's a link in the description if you want one. This is 22 mil right here. So you slap that baby on. And up she goes. Okay, so now you can move this thing around. Like, look at that. It's not gonna fall off there, right? You can put it back a little bit further on this if you want. And you can just slide it on there if you want, but I'm not. So anyway, okay, so I don't know how easy you're gonna see this or not, but all right, first thing you got to do is pull this stopper down. Now this stopper is for kind of a backup for this belt that's on top of the clutch, okay, or the transmission, not the clutch. Okay, so we're gonna take that, and that's a 1/2-inch bolt right there. A 12 is too small and a 13 is too big, so it's definitely a 1/2 inch. Okay, now there's your belts in there. Okay, now I don't know if you can see that. Oh, my phone is screwing up here. Okay, so there's your belt right there. That's the belt that goes to the transmission, and then right above that is the belt we just took off that goes to the front of the casing. So this belt here has to come off first, and then you can get both belts off. As you drop this transmission forward, it'll loosen that belt, and let me show you how I do that. Okay, so this stop right here, I don't take it off. I just loosen this bolt up. I hope you can see this. I loosen this bolt up, and then I just bend it forward, okay, instead of taking it off. And then when I'm done, I just bend it back. Leave probably a good 3/16, 1/8, 3/16 play in between this stop and this stop, okay? All right, now to take that spring down, what I do is I have this little gadget here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a little hook on the end. And I grab that spring right here, and I pull down on it, Okay, and I take that spring off. Okay, so you just pull down, just hold that transmission up. There's the spring off, and let it go really gently up there so it doesn't come off the top hook. And then, boom, now you got your belt is loose, and you take it off, slide it through like that. And like I said, we're going to replace that belt, but we're going to keep that belt. What happens to these belts is they shine up after a while. The transmission is slipping on here or whatever. These things get, they get shined up, and then they don't catch anymore. Okay, so now you got to take the other belt off. Yeah, you can. Okay, so there's your stop right there. So you want to get this belt through and then underneath this stop. And there is a way to do it without taking that off, because it's a pain in the ass to get back on, I'll tell you that. So just thread that through, get it over top this pulley, pull this one out, put the new one in, thread it through, and then put your other belt back on your transmission, and then tighten everything up. So if you need to take pictures, do that, but all good. Okay, I think I can show you how to do it. If I can get my hand in here. Now you see when that belt is coming through there, turn the belt sideways, and it pops right through there, okay? Boom, out comes the belt. Okay, so the belt is on. Make sure that you are inside the brackets in here, okay? That safety bracket, okay? Because if you are, you'll wear that belt out, or aren't you? You're going to wear that belt out really quick. Okay, so there's a new belt. Now that's how much shorter the new belt is compared to the old belt. The old belt just slipped off, remember in the video? Okay, so you just want to take that, start it, and turn it on, okay? So you just turn it on like that. Then there it is. All right, that's done. Okay, so now later when we get this thing down, we'll put this guard back on, put the 2 bolts in. And while you're here, you might as well just check this belt just to make sure that it's good, and the torque belt is good, and it's not wore too bad. Make sure you check the teeth on these big pulleys. If they're really pointed, definitely change it, because that will start to wear your belt. And if you get into some really heavy grass, you'll actually trip. Those will start to slip on you if they get really, really shiny or sharp, because they're just plastic, right? So that'll wear your belt out too. So just make sure those are new, and make sure your dealer's got them, because sometimes they don't. And get them ordered, because you will, if you use this thing a lot, you'll definitely wear those out. I think this is the second set for these ones already for this mower. Okay, so now we go over here and we put the transmission belt back on, and I won't bore you with that. That's just straight flat out, put it on that pulley, and put it on your other pulley on your transmission. Put your spring on, pull it down. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but anyway, the spring fell off up here. So make sure when you put the spring back on the little hook up there, that the hook is in the bottom hook is in right, so it goes through this little hole right here. I don't know if you can see that hole in the video or not, but there's a hole right there. That's where we're going to pull that spring down and put it in that hole. Now take your hand up here and hold that transmission back, and then grab onto that. Grab onto that spring, and you really got to pull it, I'll tell you what, because it's strong. And there it is. Wow, that was strong. Holy cow. Okay, so you know why? Because that belt isn't all the way on. That's why. There it is. That would have been better. I didn't even check that. So make sure the belt is on the both pulleys before you put the goddamn spring on. Okay, so now you can see that this stop has moved. So what you do is just turn it back a little bit and leave yourself a little bit of space in here, and then tighten that up. Okay, so you don't want to, you want to have a little bit of room there. I did bend it, so I'm going to bend it back like that. And there we go. See, now these are the kind of things your dealer doesn't want to tell you, right? Because they're going to charge you a lot of money to do this. Okay, so try and do stuff yourself if you don't want to pay that $150 or $60 or $200 an hour, whatever it is now. Because I have never paid anywhere close to that. You may have to leave this stop so it touches this, and as that belt starts to stretch, that stop will get further away from this stop. Okay, so that piece right here will go further away from that. I hope that the video is catching all that, but anyway, you want to tighten this up, and there you go. That thing is done. So you're ready to go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep these belts because they're in pretty good shape. We'll use them for backup, and you never know when you need one. I'll tell you what. And you haven't got a new one. All right, we're gonna let this down with this handy dandy jack. There we go. A little faster's better. All right, now we're gonna put that over here. All right, now we go back over here and we put that guard back on. Remember that guard that we took off? And we're gonna throw that back on now. Okay, so now you want to make sure that these holes are clean, like you blew this thing off, right? So you want to give those just a little bit of a cleaning. And when you put this on, slide it in like that. And this bolt here, you want to start it by hand, okay? Because you get that cross-threaded into aluminum or pot metal or whatever the hell this shit is, you'll strip that in there, okay? So just get that started by hand, and go as far as you can if you want. If not, whatever. And then get that down there like that. Put your drill on really low so it ratchets really quick. Okay, so you get that on there like that. And that's pretty much all you need. Okay, I just leave it like that. They've never come off. You can take your hand if you want and just kind of firm them up, but do not strip those out. If you do, you are hooped. You are drilling that out and re-drilling the hole, putting a bigger bolt in. So be careful and don't strip those, okay? Anything to do with pot metal like this, anywhere, just same as these. Now, we're gonna put this cover on. Okay, we checked that belt, it's good. That's on good. And so when you put this on, same thing. When you put these screws in, make sure that you don't strip those holes out too, right? Make sure they're all in the same spot. Sometimes you gotta tinker with that, whatever, and go from there. And if it doesn't feel like it's going in, move it around a little bit. You can see that the old path where it goes, you can see that, right? Okay, that one hit. This one might not hit. Nope. So you gotta lift that up and just kind of move it over. Okay. So you gotta tinker around a little bit with that. All right, pull that out. The bolt will come up inside the hole. There we go. Something snapped there. This back bolt was hooked on there, so that's why. Okay, so here we go. There we go. There it is. She's on. All All right, you can also take this cover off too and have a look inside there. And, you know, if you need to check real quick, just take your even a quarter or something and turn those half cock, take this plate off and have a look in there and check your belt if you want. Okay, all right, now that's it. We're gonna give her a check and make sure it turns okay. Let's start her up. Perfect. I'll tell you what, that thing is way better. Before, there was a knocking of that, like I said before in the video, there was that pulley was knocking against this this plate, and it would go bang, 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 because the belt was too tight or too loose. So you've got some adjustments on your cable, but it just wasn't working for me, so I had to go to a new belt. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you subscribe and like and all that bullshit that goes on with YouTube. And there's a link in the description for that, what was it? Oh, the jack. And make sure you pick one of them up and go from there. All right, take care.